Hello, welcome back to Living with Motor Neuron Disease Part 3. Hopefully you saw the last video, which was about some of the equipment we've been using for Dad. This isn't about that, this is continuing on from the second part I did. As usual, the video quality is not brilliant, and I'm sorry it took so long to make another video. I've been pretty busy at the moment, finally got around to it. Anyway, so yeah, this video is mostly about from when Dad's gone from walking okay to moving on to the wheelchair, and how it's affected himself and obviously us as a family. So I'm going to be talking about the impacts on Dad and us through that part. So just bear with me, I've got a little list of what I want to say on here, and obviously got to get my bearings on what I'm about to say because I'm not sure how to edit it. Eventually I'll work it out. So yeah, I'm basically going to talk about how we used to take Dad out for walks. Obviously when Dad used to go out for a walk, one of us had to be with him to keep an eye on him. When he was out walking, he would often use his wheelchair for support, so he would hold on to the handles, almost like a Zimmer frame, and then when he gets tired he would sit in the wheelchair and we'd push him for the rest of the way. This is obviously when his legs were starting to get a bit weaker. It was great up until we had quite a serious fall. He actually ended up falling, hitting his head on the wall and knocking himself out. That was quite a big, well, obviously it was a massive impact on himself and us, and that's when he really we all started to realise that we had to really keep an eye on him because his legs would just give up at any time. So that was a big stepping stone for us. From then on, we was always having to keep an eye on him. Someone was always at home with him at all times. So that was pretty tough. It was a bit of a nasty wake-up call, really. I mean, after that, we mostly took him out in the wheelchair. But the problem is with that, he often got quite embarrassed about it. I don't know why, but he seems to get quite embarrassed by moving on. I think it was just him struggling to adjust to it. Obviously, for us, it was never an issue. But yeah, that was tough. Okay, so I'm going to talk about some of the equipment. Obviously, the house was adjusting a little bit. We never completely adjust the house, like make the door frames bigger or move doors or anything like that. But of course, we had to raise seats, so the seats looked different. We had to move cabinets about, and just change little bits around the house to move equipment, and obviously move Dad easier. For us, it was not a problem at all. But for Dad, he didn't like that. He didn't like the changes to the house. I think he felt guilty about it, which I didn't understand at the time, and I don't think I will, but that was his thing. That was mostly tough for him, having to adjust to it all. The loss of independence for him was very tough as well, because we couldn't leave him by himself. What we ended up doing was splitting the days, because we haven't got any nurses what care for him. We just do it as a family. So I tend to do Monday, Tuesday. My brother does Wednesday, Thursday. We all usually alternate Fridays. Mum helps out all the time there. She's managed to move work around Dad, which is extremely convenient. She's able to do a lot of work from home now, so that's brilliant. Of course, it was quite difficult initially. We had to work jobs around caring for Dad and make new schedules, but we worked our way around it. I'd left college and finished my studying, but there was no apprenticeships anywhere, as a lot of you know. I didn't bother finding any full-time jobs because I knew I'd need to be at home a lot more. And I'm sure all of you are going through something very, very similar as well. The way I think of it is I'm going to be working for the rest of my life anyway, so I just want to make the most of all the time I have at home and spend it with Dad. I figured work can wait for the future. At the moment, my priorities is just staying at home and spending as much time with Dad as I possibly can. So yeah, those are the main points really. I've actually covered those a lot quicker than I thought I would do. After this video is done, I'll make another video continuing on from this. I would like to say I'll do it soon, but I can't predict what these next few weeks will bring. It's been quite chaotic at home. I'm not going to bring you totally up to date on how it is now, because obviously this is intended for people who are kind of new to it, want to see a little bit more about it. So I'm going to be doing it in stages, like I have been. so I won't give you an insight into what it's like now. But we've definitely noticed he's deteriorated quite quickly, and that's not for all patients who have motor neuron disease. It's different for everyone. Dad's deteriorated quite a lot quicker than we thought he would do. So we found adjusting to it's been difficult for both himself and us. 1 minute we're adjusting to a piece of equipment, starting to get used to how it's working, and the next minute it's no good, we have to move on to something else. And we're finding with the equipment, although sometimes we're shown how to use it, we have to improvise with what works for us. I'm sure everyone else is probably finding the same thing. It is quite tricky. You have to work out a lot of stuff by yourself, what works for you. Of course, everyone's home is different. We've got a reasonable size house, so moving from room to room can be quite tricky, especially for Dad, especially when he's walking. So we'd often have someone behind Dad supporting him to make sure he didn't trip. That worked for a while, but eventually the wheelchair was getting used a lot more. So that worked quite fine. Dad had a bit of core strength to sit up properly and use the wheelchair effectively. Eventually started to adjust to that a little bit. We could get him out to buy his meals and things like that, to interact with friends and family. So that was quite nice. I think the hard thing for Dad is just adjusting to the situation and to the equipment. But it's been the same with all of us really. We've all struggled with it. Problem is there's always new equipment coming in. My girlfriend's neighbours have just been diagnosed with motor neuron disease, and the place they live in is quite small. So they've been moving out to somewhere. I've not really heard much from them. They've been out getting tests done, but they've had to move out to get a bit more space so they can move equipment about and things like that, which is a shame, but it's a good idea, because you will definitely need a bit of space to move things around. I'm thinking eventually in some newer videos I'll probably maybe do some demonstrations on how I've used equipment. It is, like I said, you have to work a lot of things out, whatever things work best for you. So I probably will do that if anyone wants to request it. I think that'll do for this video for now. As I said, I will continue on as soon as I can. If anyone's got anything they want me to post or any other videos on anything else, do not hesitate to ask. I'll quite happily do it. Been getting more emails from different people as well. That's been absolutely lovely. I've really appreciated that. As I've said in the last other videos, it's always nice getting an email from anybody about anything. You know, I really appreciate it. I've met some really nice people. And everyone who's been watching my videos has been really supportive, really nice. So yeah, keep on with the messages. I'll always respond to them. Really appreciate that. Oh, before I forget, there's also a Facebook page which was recommended to me by a nice lad who's actually messaged me through YouTube. The Facebook page is basically everyone gathering together, both the families of people with motor neuron disease and the people who have it. And it's just a bit of fun really. It's a bit of a fun page. Everyone on there is really nice. I put a post on there recently when I joined, and I've never met such a nice supportive bunch of people. So I'll put a link below, and even if you have nothing to do with motor neuron disease, it's still a brilliant page. They're really welcoming, really nice, and they've been really good to me. So I recommend that to anyone. I'll put it below in the description. Yeah, and I think that concludes the video for today. If you found this video useful, obviously like, subscribe to it, and thanks very much for watching. Take care and goodbye.